Hi, hello, I'm back with another video about Bright Horizons. And you might wonder, why am I, posting videos about Bright Horizons so much? But, it really concerns me based on what I've seen for years, that people come to work to make a living, to survive, take care of themselves, their family. And I was shocked as a grown-up, as I grew up in life, and when I first go into the workforce in my teens, late teens, but not so much then, because then I was working a lot of teenagers. But when I went in there in my early 20s, I was shocked. As a child and a young person, you're like, hey, I'm going to work, and you want to be this and you want to be that. And I was shocked to see the behaviors that goes on, and just disappointed. But I didn't get so much of bad disappointment in the corporate world like I got in the early childhood field. And it comes to me now for quite a few years. That's why our world is so messed up. If the people who are in charge of taking care of us at our younger stage of our lives, apart from our family and parents, etc., are so messed up. They're filled with hate, envy, selfishness, crab in the barrel mentality, biases, you name it. And they're teaching children as young as infants, and they have such messed up spirit and personality. No wonder it's a cycle. They're gonna pass that on to these children, unless these children have one or two teachers who are quality and has moral and integrity and more than anything have God in their lives, to impact them, and or good parents, and someone in their lives, or God just work a miracle and just show them certain things. They're going to be messed up adults. And that's something I've been saying now for a while, that these kind of stuff happening in the early childhood centers are very serious, because the teachers, I've always said teachers have such an impact on everyone's life. And that's why too I'm always offended over the years how poorly they pay teachers, except for certain, depends on who you're working with and how many degrees you have, and you might get away with making six figures. But most of the time, teachers, especially in some states, are paid, they can barely. I visited a state during my summer vacation, and I was shocked what the teachers pay. They have to be doing two jobs. They barely have time for their families, and they barely have time to take care of themselves and have a life. So just imagine, they can't give the student all their all because they're tired and drained, So this is very frustrating. So this is, if you notice, my camera is set on this. This is a child that has died. It was in the UK. This child died while in the care of teachers at Bright Horizons School in the UK, preschool, early childhood center, daycare, preschool. Because when I read it, they weren't paying attention, watching the child, like I've seen a lot of negligence. You have girls there with long nails, all they're talking about, sitting around talking about their nails and talking about who done their nail and how they put rhinestone on it, and tell me where you get your hair done and your eyelashes done, and all this nonsense, or all kinds of conversation, and distracted and not paying attention, or going on their phone. This was my biggest pet peeve problem with my assistants, on their phones when they could be watching children who are very mobile. 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds, and even sometimes younger than that, who are moving about. You have to be watching and checking on them constantly. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of accidents happening. So that was the situation there. That's the main problem with them. I came across a review today where the person said, they make all their advertisement look all fancy, and that's not the word they use, but like they're classy and stuff, but it's not a classy organization at all. And you see it by the reviews. Only you find some reviews that talks about, oh, they're this and that and they're good and blah. That's either their friends or family or they themselves writing those reviews. Or it's one or two people or just blind. At one point, they kind of fooled me a little bit, and I used to say, okay, it's the managers and some of the teachers, But as I observe certain things and complaints that I've made and people complain and they turn a deaf ear or condone it. Twice, I had 2 ghetto-like girls try to fight me on the job. Recently, the last company center that I left, and one before that. And when you complain and said, oh my God, this should be happening. These are people who are watching children and taking care of children, should be modeling behaviors, showing the children how to problem solve without violence. How are you? That's what I'm saying. That's why the world is so messed up. These people resort to violence. You have people who resort to violence when they're upset or they disagree with you. They shouldn't be working with children and teaching children. So that's the problem. So one of my main thing with them is this, that they, one of the main thing that I found with them is this, they just keep hiring people who are not qualified, who are not interested in the job, who are just there for a paycheck, who doesn't really care about the children, who are not, don't have expertise and understanding, or not open to learning. They're there just for paycheck or for other agendas. One of the things that really concerned me about Bright Horizons, that's when I know too, one of the reasons why I know I wouldn't stick with them, is when they came around and asked me if I know anybody. And I said, anybody who they can just hire. Do you have any friends, no family? And I said, doesn't this person should have a degree or training? And they told me, oh, no. And then when I see the quality of people they keep, I keep seeing working there and they keep giving me for assistance, I just realized, and the problem with that, they offer you $1,000 if you refer someone and the person get hired. They offer you $1,000. And so they offer you $1,000 if the person get hired. And so people are coming on the job that have no training, no really interest, but their friends and families getting $1,000, probably even split it between them. And they come and they just put the people who are quality people at risk because they themselves are doing a poor job, and you are really the genuine person. You are overworked. You're doing their job plus your job. So that's the danger of it. And there are times when you can't. You don't have eyes in the back of your head to watch every child if you're attending to one child, or a couple of children in one corner. So it's just so, this place. But the good thing about, the more I see things about them, the more relief and happy I am. And I realize, listen, I am gold. I'm a diamond. I'm beyond diamond. I'm a precious gem. These people don't deserve me or deserve anyone who are quality and have morals and good ethics and good quality early childhood teaching skills, nurturing skill, etc. So more and more, I realize that this is a blessing for me when everything happened the way it went down. I really insulted them, and they were so embarrassed by me and by what I said to them, my boldness and my courage. And that's why they knew by a certain conversation I had with them when I was on the unpaid administrative leave. And plus some people I talked to already told them that I wasn't coming back, because they realized that I wasn't afraid to tell them certain things. I told the DVP certain things. I told the regional manager certain things, and my manager certain things. They knew that I definitely wasn't going to come back. When I had a discussion with them by email, because they wanted me to have a video conference, and I told them I'm not having any more video conference. I did one, And you don't need, if you've been investigating whatever was said, you shouldn't even be doing it. It should be a neutral person or somebody more of upper management than yourself. You can't be of the same region and doing this investigation. Even if you do it, there should be other people along with you, and there's nothing to be investigated. You see my character all these times. You gave me an award. You hear what the parents say about me. All of a sudden now you want to treat me like I'm some kind of criminal. You people are corrupted and a mess, So they knew when I was like bold enough to say certain things to them. So they fronted and say, oh, we're terminating you. I'm like, I wasn't coming back. I wasn't coming back. And I was so tempted to tell them from the get-go. But because, while speaking to certain attorneys and stuff, I just keep pushing it off, and something say, maybe let them say, let they tell them inviting you back. But they knew that I wasn't going to come back when I was bold and courageous enough to tell them certain things. They knew that I'm not going to kiss their butt when I told them I had no respect for my supervisors, when I told the regional manager that I felt she was discriminating against me from when I started, because usually they come by and meet the new person who start at a certain center, the DVB, the DVP, and the regional manager. And the first time she came to meet me when I come to this last center, she barely looked at me, barely spoke to me, didn't engage when I talked to her, and I could sense that this woman is racist. So I told her that when they try to have another meeting with me, and I told them I'm not having any meeting with my supervisor because I have no respect for her, and I can't work under anyone that I lost respect for. So they knew that it was over, and they tried to front and said, oh, we're terminating you. I said, listen, I was already not coming back. I have no interest. I found all kinds of dirt about you guys. I found a lot of stuff. I already knew some stuff, but then I found more stuff about you guys that just let me know this was not the place for me. That you guys are a mess, and that I would feel like I am sinning against God if I work for you, knowing what I know. It's different when I don't know certain things, but once I found out so many things about you guys, the corruption, the fraud, plus things you have done to me, I just couldn't bring myself to work. And then when I see how my supervisor lied on me and act the way she did, I can't. God has just built me in such a way that I cannot respect you and take orders from you or listen to you once I lost respect for you. And I've lost respect for her. And I didn't care what they did because I knew I was not coming back. It was over. That was it. After seeing how she behaved, how she falsely accused me and lied me, and then turn around and say the reason why she put me on pay because I act unprofessional. I'm a middle-aged woman who I am not violent, and I'm somebody who will not fight you unless you are attacking me and I have to defend myself. I'm not violent, but I'm not going to sit and let somebody attack me and I don't defend myself physically. So that's the only way I will act in any kind of violence, is if somebody's attacking me physically and I feel my life is in danger, or you're going to harm me in some kind of way bodily, and I have to take you off me by doing what I have to do. But other than that, I'm not somebody the first to throw the first hit or throw a first punch or push you or stuff or up in your face because we have a disagreement or because I'm mad about something. That's not my style. The only time you'll find me fighting it is if you hit me first and I felt like, hey, and I see you're going to try and hit me and keep beating me up or anything like that, then I have no choice but to defend myself. But other than that, that's not something I would have done. And to see she lied like that, I'm a woman of a certain age. Most people in their middle age don't go fighting and pushing nobody. That's people in their 30s and younger, and sometimes people in their 40s, and one or two people maybe older than that if something is wrong with them in their brain. But most people don't do that. Most middle-aged or older people don't do that. So that alone tells you that these people are a mess. I find all these things about them on here. This child that was killed in the UK because the child was eating eating a eating a mango, and nobody was paying attention to this people's child, and the child choked and died on the mango. And they were fined and sued and the parents won. They got to pay all this money out. This is why another thing why I'm doing this is, if you when I go and spoke to lawyers, it's all about negotiating and see if you can get money out of them. But that's good. But I feel like I want to stop this. I know I can't stop everything, but I can prevent some people from ending up there. Somebody who thought they were a classy place from going there to work, or somebody who might put their child there. If it's even just a few people who will protect them by putting this out here, I feel I've done a good job than trying to get some money and to keep me quiet, because that's what usually happens. You suck up things, you can't say certain things, or just barely anything is put out there because you're deciding, okay, just pay me. It's beyond money for me. It's about protecting parents and protecting other people, or employees, new employees, prospective employees, and even some who are there who probably don't realize what's going on, or certain parents. So that's why I decide I am going to complain about this and fight about this. So one other thing too, I want to read some of the reviews that I come across, some of the complaints, so you can see that I'm not making it up. One of the reasons why I really look into the the reviews, and I spoke to some of the past employees, because sometimes you see things and you like, wow, but then when you hear more than one person than yourself saying these things, you know, okay, I have no excuse. This is it. This is a place I need to cut ties with and never ever look back. And I needed to make sure it was not just me who thinking certain things. And I saw, when I see the reviews and I spoke to some old past employees, I realized, oh, okay, this place is no good. So I am going to read you some of the reviews that I found on here. So here it is saying that a child was choked to death, and it's a Bright Horizons. See, baby who died after choking at Bright Horizons Edinburgh Nursery, Maine. That was in 2019. Okay, then there are some. I want to find some of the reviews and show it to you. Some of the reviews that I come across on here. The complaints that I find on the Better Business Bureau complaint, and read some of them to you, because some of them too and some of the reviews I read was hilarious. Here's a person writing on the Better Business Bureau, and this is just this year. I was informed by other employees about the amount of racism that occurs within the daycare. That issue was not ever addressed. I was then misinformed about the requirement that was needed before I could start working in a classroom, which is something they do a lot. They lie to you. Oh, I'm going to put you in a preschool. And they put you where you don't want to be and have you all over the place, or have you as a floater from class to class. So I was thrown into other classroom without being provided a reasonable explanation. I was then put on unpaid administrative leave because of a false accusation. Hear that? That occurred in the classroom. The daycare is named Bright Horizons. So here's this past employee complaining about Bright Horizons, putting them on unpaid falsely accused. And I can bet because she complained about them pushing her from classroom to classroom, that's their way of punishing her and getting back at her for complaining. Here's another one. This is A23 again. I spoke with a Bright Horizons representative on the phone to approve a certification program through blah, 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 whatever school, online portal known as whatever. They approved the program and told me to submit a passing grade. Once the program was complete and it would be covered, I paid $2,520, passed and complete the program, sent everything to Bright Horizons, and they refused to reimburse me. They claimed that they only reimbursed program that contributes to university degree. But that's simply not the case based on their own policy. When I pointed out this out to them, they backpedaled, then tried to tell me that this program did not contribute to my business need to career path, without ever inquiring about what my position, title, or roles and responsibilities are. They will not acknowledge that they verbally approved the program despite my HR ticket that was confirmed. I reached out to them to inquire about the program. I provided them a highlighted policy that shows the criteria met. A letter from the university showing the only excuse that is not accredited university and that they will acknowledge that simpler portal, blah, blah, used to distribute the certification. So it's a lot of mess. They just put the people in all kinds of tied up stuff, and because they tell you you can even get a degree through them. But the catch with that is you got to at least give them a commitment of 18 months. When I first started with them, I was told it was 5 years. And I think one of the reasons too, where they realize you're not doing that, they want to get rid of you because they see that, hey, this person can get up and leave us anytime. She's not trying to, even when you already have the highest degree, they constantly send me email taking what I must take, go to their little their degree program. For what again? For what? And to me, they're not even as some really accredited or to me like a class kind of degree, classic kind of degree program comparing to one of the city or state university. So I don't see why I should waste my time and go to them. Here's another one. Let me read you a review, because you can always go to the Better Business place, Better Business, and read up on some of the others. And like I said, you'll find some good ones, but these are definitely their family and friends, all of them who are writing these good ones. But a lot of them are very poor. That these are some that I found on Indeed, that tells you exactly. One person write, okay company, and gave them only 1 star. This is an okay company to work for. Good benefit, but messy curriculum. I'm not a fan of yes environment. At the end of the day, this is a daycare, so definitely expect less standard than a school. And when I get there, and that's a mistake I made when I go back to school, but because of the parents are telling me that I was good with children, I didn't know the difference between them and like certain school like Department of Education. I just went to any, and then I learned the hard way that they weren't really as quality, and even the Department of Education is still not even quality, because I have a close relative who worked with them that went through hell and retired long before she was ready to retire because of the hell she goes through. I think they don't respect teachers in any setting. They don't respect teachers. They don't treat good teachers properly, and teachers should be really put on a higher standard because they affect everybody's life, even the president's life. Your first teacher affects you. So for you to disrespect them and pay them poorly, here's this person review. And it's kind of shaded out when it's a mess. They try to shade it out. I'm not trying to do no review here. I already did one. And they rejected it. That's another thing. They seem like they pay a lot of these companies that they advertise on for job. When you put in review, they have your connection. Oh, you can't say that. For one, tell me that they don't deal with criminal cases or whatever, some nonsense, because they're either working with these people and paying them money. The same for the government agencies that are supposed to be helping you. You can't get in touch with none of them since COVID. It's just phone. You're on the phone for hours. You can't go in person anymore to make your complaint. It's like a whole scam and stuff going on. That's why you have to come up with other alternatives. And this is another reason why I'm putting this out here, because a lot of agencies that I reach out to that are designed to help you and to complain to and do something about these organizations, they're sleeping. They're on vacation. They're on vacation. You can't get through to nobody responding to you. And when you do get through, they put you on their portal or their system. There's a lot of glitches. There's a problem. Your stuff is erased. All kinds of nonsense goes on. So, indeed, too, like I said, only few you'll find telling you about what's going on. Majority of it is like they're working kumbaya with these people. Okay? Here's a person saying, Bright Horizons is a cookie cutter corporation that treats children like a business. This is so right. We were always short-staffed during the years I worked there, which meant that we were not able to give kids quality attention. That's so true. Administration is not hands-on or involved in day-to-day center life, and I was told multiple times to figure it out when I had concern about quality. The same thing with me. I felt that we had to downplay to families the issues we had to make the program look better, which seems dishonest. That's exactly the conclusion I came to. There were times when we struggled to meet licensing standards. The culture at Bright Horizons was toxic because people with these degrees and experience were overlooked by those that management simply got along with. There were also no advocacy for children who were not meeting developmental standards because the center did not want to lose money. Hear that? Here it is right here on Indeed. And Indeed, I'm surprised I find it on Indeed and most of the ones that you find, they're a long time ago or a year or two, and you're lucky if you find that one with this year. You're lucky if you find more, because they seem to be in cahoots or in bed with big corporation, and when you try to complain or make reviews, they shut you down. See, this person put okay. I stand for the children and opportunity to network within the role, well resourced on the whole, not restricted with working hours, so this can be difficult. Now it's beyond that. So this person still don't know exactly what's going on to say that. It's a lot worse than that. Okay, so I found some even on Reddit. People complaining on this other site called Reddit about them. Just horrible. People are saying it's a fun place to work for young people. I'm a middle-aged woman. I don't go to work to go have fun unless I'm having fun with the children. So it wasn't really fun for me when certain things weren't, being done, and certain, problems. There's constant problems. There are a lot that I found on here earlier. That's just disgusting. They claim it's a great work and they read Forbes business or whatever. They go around when I was working there and asking me to do surveys a lot. At one time they have some company contact me to give them good reviews, and I didn't do it because that's the time when they didn't even give me my raise. And I'm like, what? You don't want me to give you a review. You really don't want me to give you a review. And I didn't do it. We do a review with them every year, and that's when I complained about the raise. I was like, listen, you didn't give me no raise, so I'm not going to give you no reviews. And if I give you reviews, you're not going to like what I have to say. But you can go on Indeed and you find a lot. And like I said, you're going to see some that's good, but these people are either friends or family, or people they're coerced, or people who just did not get the memo yet about what's going on and do not know what's going on with this company. I find some more. I'll read them to you. But just like I said, run away from this company. This company does not worth your time. It's not safe for your children. It's not safe for you if you're a teacher in any kind of way. There's a lot of dangers that involve, and it's just not a good place to be. Okay? Take my foolish advice. Take